Okay, let's please stay off the phones. I look back and I keep on seeing phones being used. Let's give our classmates the respect of our full attention.
Okay, I apologize in advance if I'm shaking a lot. It's cold in here. This is my portfolio project.
Okay, guys, let's please stop the conversation. She has begun.
Hello, how do I go next?
Use the little arrow, baby.
Oh, very old.
If you use the little arrow.
Oh, down here. Okay.
No, like on the keyboard. On the keyboard?
I did. Oh wait. Oh, it wants to work now. Great. Okay. So I chose to do the identity one. I did questions 1, 2, and 3. For the first one, my example is from January 18. It's the one I think about the most. It says no matter what anyone says or does, don't go to the wrong side just because it's easier fight to it's an easier fight to win. Stay on the side that's fighting for the right thing. I think I had that in my last portfolio, but it's really something I stick to. Yeah, like I just really think you stick to your own beliefs. Some people believe that they can't like do things just because they're Black, they're female, they're part of LGBTQ. But in reality, I feel like you just have to want it enough to be able to do it. Like there's a lot of things I know, like I'll say I can't do it, but I feel like I just don't want it enough. And if I did want enough, I've been able to do it, like get it done. For number 2, my example is from August 31st. It's the one I think about the least. It's really stupid, but it's kind of funny. I said I learned that I would never name my dog Cojones because I think that was in one of the stories. The other dog's name was Cojones, and I feel like for my age I can really do better. I think I was trying to get over with and I just wrote something down. But yeah, I mean it's still kind of funny, but yeah. For number 3, it is in the Macbeth packet Act 2. It has the strongest effect on how I perceive myself. It says I wouldn't fear him. I would look up to him. This is how has the strongest effect on how I perceive myself. It shows that how I support the best and not hate on them. Because it happens a lot in these days. Like you'll see, as a female, I'll see it a lot, which is kind of sad. I'll see a female hitting on another female for what they don't have. When in reality, you should be kind of supporting them and helping them because we obviously don't get it enough as women already. So why put them down even more? This enriched my reading by helping me translate what I read into something I can actually relate to. Because I know more at the beginning of the school year, I really struggled on how to relate to stuff. But this is how I relate. I do really small stuff, really obvious things. But for me, I really like to go deeper and kind of just break stuff down. This is the identity wheel. Race, Black, ethnicity, I don't know, obviously. Middle class high school student, gender, female. Yeah, just basic stuff. For the challenging skill, I put generating questions because at the beginning I always chose really basic stuff. It was bad. I just put down whatever first came to mind. I put down obvious questions. For this one, I put who is Manny to Sierra. That's something you find out eventually. So why did I just put that? It was kind of boring. I have mastered it because the way I start breaking stuff down now, I kind of just look into it deeper. So I'm able to make up questions that maybe somebody else might have, or I kind of think about what the character themselves might be thinking right now. What are they thinking? What questions might they have? So, yeah. For the intellect section is the one that's most transformative was from February 14th. It says you have to be able to adjust no matter what. Change is always happening. Change it's never gonna stop. It's always gonna keep happening as you guys have experienced from 2019 to now. COVID happened. I know I moved from a whole other state to a whole other area. It's a lot can happen. So you have to be able to adjust, continuously adjust, even small and big changes. It's never gonna stop. For criticality, revelations of how about power and criticality. About criticality is from February 23rd. For this one, I said that power was guilt and empathy. Equity was Lauren gave the family supplies, and the oppressed was Lauren felt forced to help them. I can't remember the rest of that. It reveals that power can be an emotion, Because I feel like a lot of times in the beginning of the year, I was like, oh, this person has power, this thing has power. But I feel like emotion can have power because it can really take over. Like emotion is not like something small. Like, it has a lot of power in any person. That's why most mental illnesses are happening because a certain emotion in them has more power, and they weren't able to really fight it. For the best assignment, it was the motivation and values extended response. It's because I asked for help when I needed it. I actually got an A on this one first. I think it's one of the first or like one of the ones I've ever gotten an A on. I'm really proud of my premises because they state and they don't suggest stuff. Because I feel like a lot of times in the beginning I was like really scared to ask questions. I feel like it was like, like I don't know. I was scared to ask questions, but I feel better now that I'm like not afraid to ask questions, and it's really benefited me like in many ways, and not even just in this class. In all my classes, I started asking more questions, and it's helping me. Valuable thing I learned is just ask for help when it's needed. Like, don't just sit there and be confused. It's not gonna work. So you're setting yourself up for failure. For the most improved assignment is the first portfolio. Because it was my first portfolio. There's no experience with it. It was kind of like a first try type thing. I obviously didn't ask for help when needed. That's something that I was talking about. Honestly, something I could have done better was like, I really could have really asked for help. If I did, I feel like I would have done at least a little bit better. Not much better, but at least a little bit better. Something that helps me in this one was the same thing I feel my first portfolio. It was asking about, it's always when you like start with the basics and then go up from there. Because it's harder when you start somewhere in the middle, like you try to go forward from there, you're gonna be really confused and be lost. So no matter like where the teacher starts, I like to break it down and start from where I want to start, for where I feel most comfortable starting, and then go up from there. Because even if it's something I don't need to know, it's good to know anyways, like in the first place. So the feedback I use would be more specific. Honestly, I think I've already acted on my insights this year, like on writing essays and extended responses. The more practice I got, the more easier it became. I read some of the PBAs and essays from the beginning of the school year, and from now, they're like you can tell how much more I've gone into depth and specified a lot of things from like big and small things in the essays. I use my reflections to make goals by thinking about how my previous goals can develop into newer goals. My first goal was to be more consistent because I'll do like really good on something and then I get like a really bad grade the next, and I'll continuously go back and forth. And I really hate it because it kind of like messes with my grades. So I really want to be more specific and like consistent with my work. I also want to continue learning new skills. I think like knowing any skill can help you like in any situation. Like you might want to learn something in the future and you won't know that. So like, oh, I learned that skill all the way in elementary school. I can use it now. Like they're always going to be in handy. I also want to continue to use what I learned outside of school, in school, and vice versa, because, like I said, you never know what you need to know. What I learned about myself is that I have a habit of setting really high expectations for myself, and then instead of setting low ones and then go higher from there, because I feel like once I don't reach those high expectations, I get really frustrated, but I feel like I can do more. And then but then when I set the low ones, I feel like I can still do more. So I'm just like, why not just set higher ones? So then I can set the higher ones and I get mad when I don't meet them. So I feel like you can set higher expectations, but don't go over the top, expecting so much from yourself that it's stressing you out. And that's it.
Excellent. Close and grows for Joya. What we got? Go ahead, baby. Excellent.